Okay, for this bit of series on doing all this joinery for timber framing, getting kind of down to the last little bits, and um, this really is kind of here, kind of not. You cannot see all the way through because from the top, that notch is only from here to here. But this detail is complete, and so what I'm going to do is run through doing another one. We can do really any of the ones that we've done in our previous lessons. And so I need to just pick one and let's create the actual finished detail to look just like this one. And I have one that's the actual through post that I need to talk to this mid post one. So I think this is what I'm going to use. So I have this end post detail. I'm going to save it. I'm going to do a save as because it's kind of ready to go. This one was called plan view, and I'm just going to delete it because I don't need it. And so we're going to get rid of plan view because this is going to be called detail now. And then we're not the end post, we are going to do the through post. And I'm just going to abbreviate the through in the name here as I know what it means, but we'll put it properly in the title of the detail. So drop that in, and all this stuff is really not here anymore, so I'm just going to move that, and I'm going to move this. I'm going to leave that line to get myself kind of lined up where I was. I'd probably even leave that note. Let's leave that break. It's kind of the same thing, I guess, here. Gosh, there's so much of this detail that on this side. In fact, let's bring that other piece in. It looks like there's a lot of similarity. So I'm going to take this, and I don't need any of this junk layer stuff. So I'm going to Control-Shift-C. Let's come in on the center of this itself. Now we'll go to the through post detail. Let's do a Control-V. And then I'm just going to draw a line through it, really anywhere, and trim it just to make this thing manageable. Now, I'm going to rotate it. Let's rotate it to look just the way that this does. So I'm going to rotate about that center point, and we'll just come straight down. And that way, oh, I missed. This way the same top portion, that didn't stay. That's okay, we're going to line it up anyway. I just need it to be straight. Now the portion that sticks out beyond these members is ready to go. So for the moment, I'm going to take this layer, which is our current layer, so I need to get off that. Let's just go to our junk layer. Get rid of that. I really don't need any of this. And now I'm going to freeze this because I'm on the junk layer. So if I click it to highlight it, it's just a quick way to get right to it. Oh, I don't want to lock, I want to freeze it. Okay. Now, it's not in our way. So this needs to be down here. And I want this to be on the drawing layer. Now, in this case, sections, details, elevations, I just use the D layers normally. But this is already drawn, and it's on the column layer. And then I have this A hidden, which I don't even know where that came from. I don't typically even have that layer. In fact, I probably should keep from having this show up elsewhere. So let's make that the name that it usually is. So I'm not adding more layers to my system that I don't need. And then this is possibly my video driver that's causing that to freeze. I have to figure out when and how to troubleshoot that, but not today. So let's move this whole guy from there to perpendicular to this line. PER. Boom. Now, I really want it to be here. So I'm going to move them together. So I'm going to move all of this. That way I've still got it. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to move that. And I'm going to move it from here. Put it right in place. And now I've got my new detail started. And I could even, if I wanted to reopen that other, no, there is no, I was going to say I could copy what's on the other drawing, but there is nothing on the other drawing. So what I need to do is just copy it to wherever I feel I'm going to have plenty of room to do notes or whatever I need. So there we've got a good start on it. And actually some pretty decent dimensioning. Obviously need to organize it a bit. I'm going to stretch this down. The reason I'm doing that is because since I added these titles, it just looks better. Let's grab this guy, bring it over, get it about in line with that. Might want to snap back. Nope, it didn't. Okay. Now if I come in close, then I can stretch it out to get it to a line, and I'll show you where I'm just getting it to line up with my ticks. Make it clear and easy to read, and then come kind of the opposite direction on that one. Here's my shoulder. Bring this one out, get it aligned. Now I like it. And this one needs to be lower. Up there ought to do. And yeah, I want this one up to the same spot. And then this one, just gonna pull it out. So it won't be at 45, but it'll still look pretty nice because I'll have all this pretty close to aligned. And that's my 6-inch purlin. Now, up here, this has to mirror. It's got to mirror about the center point. So XL, vertical. I'm going to drop a center line in there. I know that that is centered because I made sure when I placed it. So now I can take this, mirror all that data about here. And then I've got to come up with some type of line weight to show one from another, or do it with my hatching. So first things first, let's get this out so it's not interfering with the drawing. It looks pretty good. Now that's kind of messy. If I get rid of that, and have one in front and then one behind. So let's see what happens to this when I go to a 2. How's it look? Definitely different. All right, so let's go with the line over. Properties. And there, and between the lines, the line weight and the hatch, I think it'll be quite clear as to what's going on. And we are doing this at 1 inch. If not, when we print, these would just blend probably. So I have this going on. XL H. Let's bring this guy, copy it up. In fact, we could probably copy the whole thing. That from there up to there. And you can see it falling pretty close to right where she belongs. Now, looks like I need to do some work on both drawings because I know if I open up my mid posts, no, not my mid, that's my through and my end detail. If I open my end detail, I could tell you that I recall that I didn't show this going through, and it does. So I kind of need to copy this. I'm going to copy it to here so I can easily grab it, grab the line, pull it up, and that should fix that one. Let's save it. And I basically need to do the same thing here. And this will be a little easier to see what I'm talking about, but this beam, or the purlin, goes straight through. So I could do that. I can also just extend this line as long as I'm getting some continuity there. I feel okay about that. Now let's see what happens when we do this. This could throw it. Nope, it's looking good. Okay. Boy, we sure seem to be in pretty good shape. It's our 4-inch tenon is shown. We've got the above, beyond. So it's going to be a matter of hatching it and see what we think. So here, I do want my language changed. Percent U, that's how I get the underline under there. And it's not the same thickness as my poly line, but they actually look pretty good. So this has this, the underline, because it's multiple M text, so you can hit the underline, but you can't do that in an attribute yet, or maybe that I know of. Now I don't need any of this. And I do need to turn on my, ooh, look at all that hatch that came in. So here, I've got an issue. Now this won't hatch very well with the junk layer on, so I need to switch layers. So let's switch, and then let's freeze that. Something happens with the cross that I put in there to find the center mark of that. That throws hatch off. So hatch that, and that. And see these lines? It's because up here, set to ANSI 32. If you just set it to solid, it will now be the same as this. And I know that looks like a different color, but it's not. Look at that. It's one of those eye trick things. Got a white liner on that. Makes it look lighter. Okay, so here, I want to see the difference between these. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hatch these like opposite of each other. So MA, this circle will go to here, and then this color will go to here. Now, whoa, not quite what I wanted. I want that to be this. Then I want this to be this. There we go. Are we showing up on top? We are. So some of the issue you can run into is these lines play tricks on you by not staying up front like you want them to. And it's one reason to really kind of try and get your hatch. See, this one's in the background. Now, if I can grab those without grabbing the hatch, and then come to home, modify, bring it to the front, they will print better. They do kind of fade out if you don't do that. So looks pretty good. I gotta hatch this guy down here, and we need to probably redo this hatch here. So I'm gonna grab that guy, and let's delete it. Now we can see what's going on. Hatch here, here, here. Hatch there, there, there. And then this. Now that color's fine. MA this to there, and MA that to there. Now we've got it showing. Now you can see what I'm talking about. So as long as I don't grab, see now I've grabbed my hatch, so I can't bring it forward. So I need to grab one side, the other, there, there, there. And then here, you'll have to select the polyline. Now I can bring it to the front, and poof, it shows up. So still got to hatch that. And then just to make sure that they are going to print well, I will come through and bring them forward. So this is left as an X, so it stands out, tells me, hey, when you get to laying out your sheets, you need to fix that. So, print, it's not pretty yet. Save. Okay, now that we're saved, I'm going to lay out two. Let's look at one. Oh, layout one should have been, okay, so let's go through some of this stuff. So when I hit modify, and I want this to be portrait. And you could have set up other things if you want. Layout, probably end up doing something else, but I will set my printer to high quality. And if you want, you can set your pen style. So let's set that there and just say okay. And what I've done is I've set this sheet up, but my border's off. So is that a viewport? It must be. And I'm going to find out. Yep, the drawing was with it. So I want to draw a rectangle from 0, 0. You know what? Let's go to the viewport layer. Missed viewports. So rectangle. And I could do a viewport too. Want to see that? And it's called output. Output. There it is. Okay. Nope. Why am I forgetting? Senior moment. All right. To add the viewport, just type viewports. Type viewports. So when we type them, the command, that means I don't know where it is in the window. Sorry, I'm an old guy. Still used to using DOS. Okay. So our start point is 0, 0. And it's an 8.5, comma 11 piece of paper. That drops a viewport in. I can now get rid of this one. It's not even on the right layer. So then you can do is grab one of these and come up and go 0.5. And sometimes it'll drag it the right amount. And then I can create a 1/2-inch border all the way around. And then if I don't know what I did there. That certainly wasn't 0.5. Okay. See, it doesn't look right. So let's just undo all that. And if I offset, oh, this isn't even in the right spot. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. It looked off REA. See how it looks ghosted off, but it appears right. I think it's okay. Zoom. Zoom extents. Okay. So I'm going to offset it. 0.5. And now we'll get 2, of course. Oh, maybe you can't offset viewports. How do you like that? Okay. So REC. Let's go to the junk layer. rectangle, enter, come on, enter, rectangle, 0, 0, enter, and then I'm going to do the same thing, 8.5, 11, and now I have one that I can offset, 0.5, enter, and then grab it, and it's probably going to ask me which one I want. Now I have that, so now I get rid of this, and then I can grab this and bring it to the right spots. One advantage of that is that you can do it really fast because you only need 2 corners. Now, inside the, let's get rid of this junk layer. Don't like having that hanging out. There. So I can double click in here, and if I want it to be to scale, so let's say draw tomorrow, then I could go and see what it's going to look like as a 1-inch print. Well, it doesn't fit on this piece of paper. So, as 1 inch equals 1 foot, it does not fit on an 8.5 by 11. Wow. Oops. Undo. What happened? REA. REA. Oh, my video card's driving me crazy. Okay. What have I got? I'm at 1 inch equals 1 foot. So let's pan this thing. Care about the title for tomorrow's meeting. And we'll just have a nice big sheet so we can really read this stuff well. That looks good. Now let's see how it prints. That's what I'm interested in. It does all my line work. Oh, see this? Okay, see how those hidden lines are all wacky? That is PSLTS. So then you've got 2 options, and it's currently set to 1, so I'm going to set it to 0. And it looks like my file DIA got shut off. Now REA. And come in and look at that. So undo. Okay, so now I'm there. Double click. Now come and look. It's all there. So what I'm interested in is, does this print without just making it into a blurred line? So print and previous. It's on a huge sheet. As I was working on a hotel earlier. But we're not working on a hotel now. So let's go here. Oh, I want full bleed though. So that's an arch. There's an A. There's an A, full bleed. Okay. Preview. And look, I can see my little headlines. But I'm in portrait with my other setting here. So, preview now. That looks pretty good. My junk layer is printing. Okay, that's not good. So that's just a matter of, you got to control this with, no you don't. I'm going to go ahead and print, so I don't have to redo my settings again. I'm going to print. There's my hotel. Barn. And let's just go ahead and put it right where we're at, which is L9. No, that's the stickers. That we are on timber frame joinery, L8. That's the detail we're looking at. I don't really need the layout one if I don't want it. If I wanted it to just be that, you can always do it however you want. So this is going to pop here. And now we can see that's pretty close to what it's going to look like at scale. So it's challenging. You can see when I really zoom in, this is bigger than 8.5 by 11. So what am I going to end up with? Well, you can see those are my junk lines, and I don't want those. So we will go back to here, click in our viewport, check our layers here, and make sure that we're either not printing it or not even seeing it. And that'd be the same with like layout aids. I don't want to see them or print them. If you click this, it won't do either. Um, and then you should check it, because if they're still there, then you may have hit the wrong thing. But it depends on how it's in the drawing. So this doesn't print. You don't have to worry about that. And I would say everything else is just fine. I have too many layers in here, but it'll work. So now I'm just going to print again, because now I just got to go previous. And we can just check it, take a look. Looks good. And keep the name. Yes, I do want to hold it. And there we go. Now, as you can see, it's the line weight's a little blurry. So I might have to give up something here. I think that's my solution. I think what I need to give up is, if I go to my model space, it appears that having this set to 2 works. My PSLTS at 2 works for everything. So let's make sure we can see what we're doing. Let's freeze it. Let's come in, and I'm going to set, not PSLTS, just my LTS. I'm going to set all those, and I'm going to set all those, and all that, and that. I think I got them all. And now we can just go to properties. That's properties. And I'm going to set this to 2 for all of them right now. Now I'm going to come back up to the ones that I had at 2 and make them a 3 or a 4. Let's see what it looks like. I'm going to try 4 first, because if I can get away with it, I think it'll stand out better. Yes. Okay. That's the way we're going to do it. So let's save it. Let's go check out our layout. And if you want, I do prefer that these kind of tell you what's going on. Portrait. And I don't have portrait and landscape in anything else than 8.5 by 11 myself. Otherwise, they're named, D sheet, C sheet, that kind of thing. E's, E1s. Hardly ever use E. But now that's set. So I don't want that one. I want this one. Come on. And let's print it again. And let's see how it looks. Previous plot. Preview. You can see it much better even from here, but I also noticed I didn't turn my hatch back on. So we're going to cancel. And we're going to go back to our hatch. Thaw it. Print. Previous. Preview. And it looks good. Oh, that hit. That's kind of, see how, this is what I mean. No, it looks like it's going to print okay. But see how it's thinner? It's getting half cut off by the hatch. So, to fix that, you have to get it out front. So, to do that, we need to come here, grab it. Let's just grab that. Grab that. I missed. Grab that and that. And just make sure that they are in the front. These are little quirky things that cause little headaches, and you can't figure out what's going on. So hopefully I'm helping you resolve some issues you may be having and don't understand. So that looks much better. I'm going to print it. It's great for my conversation for tomorrow. And this is just, hey, you want to override it? Yes, I do. Now it's going to come over to the other half of my screen here. So let's see what it looks like. Looks pretty good. Come in a little more if you really want to see it. And I think she'll print clearly. This one's in the background, and I kind of like it. So I'm going to leave it. Ooh, my crosshairs too. I don't like that though. Do I care so much for this drawing? Not really. It's just a for discussion drawing, but I'm working with the timber framer here, and he is a particular fellow. Where is it? Oh, maybe it's erased. Not in model space. That's why you can't select it. See, I'm having some serious senior moments today. Is it there? It's not there. Okay, copy that from there to there. Now we have it here. Um, so it is, this guy. Yeah, let's bring it to the front. Okay, save. Portrait. Previous preview. How are we looking? Good there. Got both my crosshairs. Let's go for it. Give it that name. Yes, I do. And poof. Looks good. That one's done. I'm going to go on and print my other ones. Such as this guy. A couple little adjustments to it to make sure it's the same as the other one I just did. And that is it. We can actually seam this whole thing together into a nice video that will be forever long, but hopefully have a lot in it. So this is Mark with Not Square Design, and thanks for watching.